Greetings, it is me, Minidad, and I'm back for another episode of DBZ Budokai 1, the commentary. The movie, the game, the anime, the manga, whatever the fuck else there is. The audio drama, uh, but yeah, we're finally covering the second half of the Frieza Saga storyline. Which I like to remind you, those damn Americans had to wait 2 years just to watch the other half of it. Because it wasn't dubbed then. Is there any tangents I want to discuss before I get to the main two ones I wanted to discuss? One that's regarding an official drama product, and another drama project that involves a certain someone, which is basically me. And it's not an official product because, well, if it was, I wouldn't be here now, would I? Not that I don't speak Japanese at all, so yeah. Also, this is by far the most underrated look for Vegeta. He even looks a lot better than the Cell Saga one, because at least the bodysuit actually looks. There's a different color of blue as opposed to how it is in the Cell Saga, where it's almost the same exact color as Goku's undershirt. Oh, here's a little fun fact. I mentioned in the previous part, Kenji Yamamoto he basically stole a lot of music because he couldn't be bothered to actually make his own music, but he did a very good job at actually making his own original remixes. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, despite the fact that he plagiarized, he did an excellent job making the music sound amazing. But back to the point. This song is actually plagiarized from the Black Sabbath song Iron Man. And no, that song was not made for the Marvel character Iron Man, it was made for something else. Why was it never played in the Iron Man 2008 movie by Marvel Studios? I don't know, but it was in the Marvel Studios, not Marvel Studios, it was in the PlayStation 2 video game Iron Man. Which, yes, was based off of the Marvel character and based off of the movie. It was only in like one section of the game, and it fucking sucks. It's only in the beginning of the game, which I fucking hate. But hey, that's the only good part of the game. And yeah, we're fighting against Frieza in his first form, which is not his base form, by the way, because we'll soon learn that. Well, actually, I think we learned that. I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention to the cutscenes. But yeah, Frieza can be kind of a fucking asshole here, which kind of does make sense because, I mean, he is the Emperor of the Universe, but fucking hell, man, it's so annoying when you're trying to beat his ass, but he just keeps... All I gotta say is, don't get cocky and don't go things half-heartedly. Be on guard and make sure you don't fucking lose to any of these guys. And also don't guard for too long because eventually they will break your guard. Just keep on the move and keep using some of the more powerful moves. And also make sure you use the shoulder buttons to break some of their blocks, or if they're not, or if they're more powerful than your base form or whatever, yeah, use that as well. Or any of the other combos which are much more powerful than the basic 1, 2, 3, 4 punch and kick. And yeah, right here I'm trying to do some of the special moves, but for some reason, even though I clearly did the fucking buttons, I pressed in the right button combination, it doesn't want to let me, it doesn't work for some reason, even though I clearly pressed the buttons, and you clearly heard the brain sound effect, but it doesn't do it because the game is a stingy bitch. And I feel as if this problem doesn't stop until... well, I remember in Budokai 3, look, in Budokai 3 it's kind of still a bit of a bitch, but granted, as long as you don't quickly press it and hold it enough time, it will eventually work. Yeah, unfortunately we missed the fight with Piccolo and Frieza. Why did they skip that? I don't know why. It was kind of stupid because they gave us Piccolo's side of the story, but for some reason we don't get to fight against. We don't get to play as them fighting against Frieza. Why? Also, I love how Frieza's third form is actually a complete homage to Alien. I just don't remember the name of the guy who created it. Oh yeah, Ridley Scott, that's the name. And no, I'm not gonna make a reference to that really shitty, overhyped, and poorly aged fan dub, well, a bridge series. My brain's going mushy. Is there anything else I want to talk about? I still have yet to talk about Dragon Ball Daima, the new Dragon Ball anime. And I still need to talk about the Dragon Ball Z dub projects, which I've been working on for 3 years now, and what's the state of them right now. I want to talk about them, but again, I take too long explaining things. And, also, I still like the fact that we still never got a Piccolo versus Frieza, the second and third form Frieza fights in this game. You can't even actually play as the second and third form Frieza at all in this game, which is stupid in my opinion. Luckily, Budokai 3 allows you to play as the second and third form, which is pretty fucking cool, and also ultimate proof why Budokai 3 is the best Dragon Ball game. But yeah, we're finally facing off against Frieza, and this time we're a Super Saiyan. Man, this just... Oh my god, man, this... I can imagine if Dragon Ball ever got a new anime, everyone would start laughing at Vegeta for saying this just because of how... Mainly just because of the fact that Super Saiyan is so iconic now, everyone knows what it looks like, and... Well, I guess like to the general public and normies that aren't that familiar and just only seeing like out of context scenes, or for the first time are actually watching Dragon Ball because of the new adaptation, if there ever is to be one, they'd just be like, they just start laughing, start memeing on him, and it would be fucking everywhere on Twitter. And I think I actually managed to beat Frieza in just hold on, wait. The one to jinx it? No, I didn't. But yeah, Frieza isn't too bad, and yeah, he's not too bad here, but again, stay on your toes. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Tangent, but I don't want to get too off topic. Is there anything else I could talk about the game? Oh yeah, I want to clear up a little thing I said in the first video. Why does this game only go up to the Cell Saga? It has nothing to do with the dub whatsoever. The main reason why I'm having a bit of a sore throat. Well, not sore, but it's just got a bit of a cough. Basically, the reason why the game only goes up to it was because the game was... Oh fuck, I forgot the main reason why, the exact reasons, but it was mainly due to the fact that, Suecia was not impressed with the game whatsoever, and they said, but basically, to sum it up, they basically just said, the Suecia executives just said, this game looks like shit, it is shit, and just hurry up and finish this game already, because we're not wasting any more money on it. That's basically, that's not the whole reason. I am generalizing it, because I can't remember it entirely, and I'm still having to, well, I'm kind of a dumbass and I tend to simplify things, but I do recommend you at least read the, I'll link the page to, I'll link the page to it in the comments down below for you guys to read. And yeah, it turns out that it was never the dub. It was always because the executives at Suecia didn't like the game at all and thought it looked like shit. In fact, the earlier models of the characters were even like really terrible. And in fact, the game devs were actually shocked that the game did well outside of Japan. They weren't even aware of the American fan base, or the British fan base, the Australian fan base, the Canadian fan base, the whatever the hell else there is fan base, until the game sold well outside of Japan. I did not need to repeat that, but fuck it, I'm gonna do it again. It feels so nice actually having to actually... I feel bad for talking over this a bit, but at least you kind of hear a bit of it. That was a very, very well done scene, and granted the translations are not very good, but oh well. I guess considering the fact that we're finally getting onto Goku's part of the story when he comes back again, I guess we gotta sort out that one elephant in the room. You know, concerning a certain project I was working on for 3 years and have not done anything with it since early this year. But I guess there's no way around this, and I've had to explain. I've done like 10 recordings of this now, I think, and every time I do it, it's way too long, and it's just... I sadly won't be able to explain all my reasons and give a full explanation, but as best as I can, and hopefully it's just a 5-minute explanation, I hope to God. But basically, I've decided that I'm completely done with the Dragon Ball Z dub reviews because I realized my Season 4 review was way too negative, way too long, and I didn't like the way I was going. I tried to rewrite it, but I was still dissatisfied with it, and then I decided I'm going to work on the... I then decided, like, I want to try... I also wanted to explain it in chronological order, but I would end up repeating some things, but whatever, let's continue on with the story. I then decided to just focus on Frieza Saga Rebirth video, but then when I was writing, which by the way I did make the first 10 minutes of the Season 4 video into a video, and also the Frieza Saga Rebirth final part was made. Most of it was just the intro and the last 2 parts of the video. The Vegeta and Goku section was not finished at all. I did write it, of course. However, it got to the point where I realized that there was no need for me to write so much filler in my scripts, and I could have just done the middleman and just not have like all these specific changes, like oh this and that and da 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 da. I don't remember what my script was entirely like anymore because I haven't read it in a while, but I realized the script was too long. The videos were way too... They were way too formulaic, and I was getting so sick and tired of it, and I realized the viewers too would have gotten sick and tired of this, and ultimately I realized that I was writing so much filler in the script that I wasn't getting to the point, and it made me realize that I could have done the harder but more efficient route, where I watched all 240 something episodes of... I don't know the exact number, but basically watch the Ocean dub, the Funimation Takeover dub, whatever thing, and the Westward dub, which was basically just an alternate version of the Cell and Buu Saga dubs, which basically just have the same script as Funimation, but they have a different voice cast, which is the old Ocean actors, again, don't want this to be too long. but basically I realized that the changes don't just affect one part of the story and previous parts of the story, it affects all parts of the story. And as much as I want to give examples, again, I don't want this to be too long, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to take too long, and I don't want to get overly negative again. And I want to talk more about the fucking game as well, which. And another like problem was just that. Like it was just way too much, like too much work I put on myself having to watch the Japanese version alongside the dub, you know, for edited for TV, and having to make all these point out these minuscule changes, but then later on in the script point out the more major changes. And I realized that again I could have just made one video focusing why Goku's character changed, not only just bad in the Frieza saga, but also the whole DBZ part of the story and why it's completely just a portrayal of how he's supposed to act in the manga and the original version of the anime. I was burnt out, tired, and just so sick and tired of just watching the shitty dub. And yes, guys, I am aware that when Funimation did the Boo Saga, the scripts were much more faithful, though because this is early Funimation, they still made a bunch of garbage script changes, the acting was still terrible, and it was still using the Fail Bonus soundtrack. And again, the Fail Bonus soundtrack is carried hard by like 5 or 7 musical tracks. Everything else is just forgettable garbage, which is just all the same shit. And this is coming from Solo to Skull. He pretty much sums up the Fail Bonus soundtrack. Granted, yes, things did get a bit better as they were given a bit more time, and they were getting used to their roles. Like the music and actors were getting more used to their roles, but it's still not fucking good. And I don't want to hear people say, but Media, you should watch the Boo Saga dub just to see. Well, to be fair, most people, actually I don't even think most of you would even tell me that anyway, because like most people do say that the Boo Saga dub is decent because it's not as bad as the previous stuff, because that's when the actors got a bit better. But I just although I will say I do agree to a point, that is when they got a bit more bearable for me to hear, because as much as I hate to say this, I don't actually mind the dub actors' performances to a point in Budokai 1 and 2. Don't really like him in Budokai 3, because around 2004, 2005, that's when the voices started to get really worse in my opinion, and slowly started to become the more, to put it bluntly, the Boo Saga voices are, well, the Cell Saga voices are a like early teen version of what the characters would sound, the dub actors would sound like later on, and the like around Boo Saga is basically, I'd say, like the middle to late teens of what they would sound like in future dubs. I know I'm not explaining this very well and it sounds kind of stupid, but like that's the best way I can put it. There is a gradual change in them, you know. Although I will say Chris got way worse compared to Sean. At least with Sean it was more gradual. With Chris, it's just flat out. With Chris, even though like Chris is younger than Sean Schimmel, I believe, he got way worse with his smoker voice, and it originally went from a smoker Brian Drummond to them just sounding like a really weird, overly generic, not generic, but like the really obnoxious, deep anime rival character voice, which I fucking hate in anime dubs so much. And there's one of the main reasons why I watch anime in Japanese, because I don't have to hear the same generic voices you hear in anime dubs. Yeah, this was also part of the game where I actually, for once, actually beat Frieza as Super Saiyan Goku. Only of a time ever recorded, because all the other times I would just fucking lose and just turn back to base form and have to beat him in the base form, which is fucking annoying. And it's one of the problems I have with this game, which I want to elicit, but I think I'll save it a bit longer until we get back to the gameplay, because cutscenes. Is there anything else I want to discuss about the dub actors? Like in Budokai 2, I think the performances are actually okay. They're not like horrible, but like I'm just still not a fan of the voices. But at least I can tolerate them in that game to a point. But as the 2000s went on, it just got way worse. And in the Kai dub in 2009, 2011, that's where it hit its peak, where the voices had fully matured and they sound like how they've sounded ever since then, only gradually getting deeper due to, like, you know, naturally because of, you know, age and stuff. But like, it's just like, I honestly much prefer Sean's older Goku voice. His acting was terrible in those old days, but like, I'd rather take Sean having a very youthful voice as opposed to him having a very fucking annoyingly, an annoying fucking, I don't know how to describe it. It's just Sean, he has like two emotions, either bland, generic, monotone, serious voice, or loud and obnoxious, ugly, deep, screaming voice. And almost no fucking variation or manipulation with his own voice, which is what you're supposed to do as a fucking actor. You're meant to mute all types of fucking emotions and also accurately display them as well. And no matter how much you like the dub of Kai or whatever, or anime dubs or whatever, you cannot deny that these dub actors are never going to be featured on like the top 10 voice actor lists of all time, because anime dub voice actors are never ever going to be considered top tier at all. I know some of you may not like that, and I get it, and yes, there are good anime dubs out there, but like, some of them just won't ever make it. No, a lot of them will never make it on like top 10 lists of of the best voice actors ever, unless you're like a Steve Bloom, or you're very unless you've spent enough time in anime and Western animation and in video games and stuff like that, like other types of mediums too, not just one specific franchise and whatever or not. And you're really versatile too with your voice and with the other characters as well. Don't just fuck, I didn't explain the, oh god damn it, I fucking hate this video. And one time I have to record this piece of shit, is so fucking annoying. I'm done. I give up, man. Fuck it. I'll make up for it in the next two videos. Oh yeah, another thing I want to mention. I'm not doing the what if stories for this game because I just don't care anymore. I'm just so tired of this game, man. I want to move on to a different commentary now. I won't spoil what it is just yet. You'll have to wait till the final part, which is coming this weekend. Kind of sad I didn't get to talk enough about more about the gameplay regarding the transformations, but fuck it, we have next time for that. I'm such an idiot and I'm terrible at planning things out, but on one positive note, this is fucking epic. And oh yeah, by the way, if you want to know a bit more about my reasons why I quit working on the dub project, you can ask me it in the comments down below. I am fine with that. It's just I didn't want to it's just way too wordy and too long, and I'm just a mess overall as a person when I'm trying to explain my reasons. For those who've talked to me in VC, you know how much of a messy person I am in VC. But yeah. Man, just watching this again just makes me want to watch Frieza Saga and Cell Saga all over again, which I actually am, but I haven't got back to rewatching them because of laziness and let's just say my personal life has been a bit meaningless, but it's not all bad because I'm slowly making effort again. But yeah, it looks like I'm gonna head off now, and I'm gonna get to recording the next two parts. Hopefully, I hope I'm not too tired for the final part of the commentary. But yeah, I didn't enjoy this as much as I wanted to, but hey, I tried at least, and whatever. We'll just let everything end off here with the preview episode, and see you for the next part.
急に蹴ったら未来から来たっちゅうやつが現れたんだ。
今から3年後、この地球に恐ろしい敵、人造人間が現れます。
私こそが究極の生命体。
次回ドラゴンボール Z 新たなる脅威2